Alright, so I've been getting a lot of requests to do an updated tank and stock video, so here we go. We're going to start small again. This is the 6.6 Wallstad that's pretty much an Anacris Dwarf Sag jungle. I've got 3 dwarf frogs in there, a beta, 2 mystery snails, a little baby horn nearite. There's 3 ottos swimming around too. Basically, the nearite and ottos are trying to take care of the algae. You can kind of see over here where they're doing okay job, but there's just so much for them that I'm probably going to get more ottos and another nearite, and they still won't clear it all out. I've also got some guppies in here that I'm hopefully trying to breed for feeders. I just gotta try and get them out so I can then put them somewhere else so I can catch them to use as feeders. There's like 2 males and 3 females, plus probably half a dozen literally just born fry. If you can see it right there. Super. So moving down into the den fish room, dog's play area, we'll start with the 20. This has Dratini, who's a little albino Senegal. She's still growing out. And we've got 3 little baby Florida Gar, which are growing out as well. There's only one there. There's another back through the plants there. And third guy's around somewhere. We've also got a black spotted eel, which is hiding under this awesome piece of spider wood. I don't know if you can see his head right there. So I would take him out, but I can't get him from under the wood, and the wood is still trying to waterlog and sink. So he doesn't seem to be bothering anyone, and he seems to really like hiding under there, so I'm really not worried about it too much. And if the fish is happy, I'm happy too. Moving right next to it, we've got the 55-gallon grow out. This has a high-fin banded shark, another albino Senegal. There's a little jibby hiding under that piece of wood, and then got a random hybrid bass, which nobody really knows what it's a hybrid with, but it looks cool, and I'm not really complaining. And then also hiding in the plants up here is a Delezi Bachir, and somewhere in here, oh, there he is Gyarados, one of our oldest fish. He's pushing 5 years old now. Just regular Senegal. So moving into the living room, we have the 125 grow out, which is the third biggest grow out, and it's only a grow out for a couple of the fish. We've got the pair of longfin albino Oscars, and there's a bluegill back there. We got a Kelberry peacock bass hiding in here, and then back behind the sword and the bubbles is a Kelzul peacock bass, which is actually a hybrid between an Azul and a Kelberry. And then somewhere in here is a warmouth. Oh, there he is, hiding all up under the water sprite. There we go. And then we got the 2 Gelsey Bachir and a tail of one of the newer ornates. That's a female actually, and Palmus poli. And then in this green tube is the aptly named Eelvis, the tire track eel. He's the biggest fish in here, about 18 inches, and probably going to wait to move him till he puts about on another maybe 6 inches or so. That way he can hold his own in the 300. And back there is the female conjugus, as well as the tail of another female ornate. And in here, kind of hard to see, there's an eyeball and a head of a male conjugus. So the fish that are moving out are the 2 conjugus, the 2 ornate, and the 2 peacock bass. Everyone else is going to stay in here, and then we're going to move the Senegals and Delezi in here as well, and that'll be their permanent home. Obviously the tire track eel's moving out too. So completing the fish room, we have the 300 tank. This has a Placo, who is kind of doing his job on the algae. As you can tell, there's still random spots here and there. We got There's one Indonesian datinoid. We've got two of them. The other one's on the other side over here. Then there's two, those are the two female Enley Bachirs back there, plus one of the Florida Gars just swam by. And one of the Oscars, then the other Oscar, the other Florida Gar, then the hybrid catfish, who will be moving out to the catfish pond soon. He just needs to stop being a picky eater. For some reason, he's on a hunger strike. So once we get him eating again and put a couple inches on him, he'll be moving outside with the others. Then in the back there is another male Enley, and here's the big female ornate Dracana. And then in the middle of all of these pots, you can kind of see him right there, is finally I got a male ornate. I'd been looking for a couple years and finally found one on Craigslist, so I snatched him up. And then back there is the tail of the last Enley. So there's 4 Enleys in here, 2 ornates, the 2 Oscars, 2 Gar, 2 datinoids, and then the most recent inhabitant is our large female hybrid peacock bass, who is a hybrid between a monoculus and an ocellaris. She's showing more of the monoculus colors and pattern. And before I put her in here, I measured her. She was at about 14 inches. So, looking good. Showing a little bit of the filtration that we got going on. There's a 75-gallon refugium, which in the middle, the plants are pretty much just water sprite and duckweed. There's a little bit of Java moss and other random things floating around. I've got some platies swimming around in there as well. Hopefully I can breed them and start using them as feeders. And then over here, I recently updated the plumbing for the filtration, as well as put probably 1,000 bio balls into these lingerie bags, as well as the pot scrubbies underneath. And the plumbing that I upgraded was, I just added all of this piping as opposed to just the regular 2 hoses. Sorry, dogs are going crazy. So it makes it more of a trickle filter and makes it actually a lot quieter than it used to be. Before, you heard kind of gurgling and bubbling and water rushing, and while it can be relaxing, it can also be a little annoying when it was loud, and it was pretty loud. So now with this upgraded plumbing, the tank is pretty much silent. And right next to it, I am raising and breeding some crickets, which I feed to the gar. It's the only thing they can eat now, or the only thing they will eat, because they're picky eaters too. So just real quick, wanted to show what's going on up on top of the 300 tank too. I've got these 2 4-foot LED lights that I got from Home Depot. They were like 40 bucks each, and they light the tank really well, and the plants seem to like them as well. But we've got this really big taro, which is kind of like taking over half the tank, and I would move it outside, but it's doing so well in here that I kind of don't want to. And I've also got this really, really big water sprite that's been growing here. I mean, you can see compared to my finger, those stalks are just super thick, and it's really, really big, you know, huge bush of water sprite. And also this one, I'm just gonna leave it here. It's doing well. It's helping filter just a little bit extra, and they're both removing nitrates and ammonia like crazy. So if it works, you know, why change it? And then out in the garage, we have the 300-gallon catfish pond, which has Namatsu, the red-tailed catfish. He is about 25 inches now, and that tube that he likes to hide in is 24 inches long and 6 inches wide, and somehow he still can fit in it. We are trying to find a possibly long enough bucket if we can, or we'll just kind of combine 2 like a Home Depot buckets to give him a bigger hide, because I feel like he's kind of cramped in there, but he doesn't seem to mind. Also in this corner, it's hard to see, but there's a tiger shovel nose catfish, and over here we've got a hybrid catfish and another tiger shovel nose. That tiger shovel nose is beat up a little bit from just being recently added to the pond, and big fish are aggressive, and so he'll recover in a day or two and look like nothing ever happened. But it's kind of expected, and kind of expected for him to hold his own as well. So the joys of owning monster fish. So now we head outside. The dogs in tow, Artemis and Kenna. So this is our koi pool, pond, whatever you want to call it. I got some umbrella palm growing here. We got probably like 15 koi, maybe a dozen goldfish, 3 plecos, and some tinfoil barbs. The plecos and tinfoil barbs come out here for the summer because the barbs school with the koi and goldfish, and the pleco get more algae to eat than they know what to do with. I'm also trying a little experiment over in this floating planter where I've got taro and water poppy, but I've also got some water sprite growing under here, just to see how it does. If it dies off, then oh well, I've got plenty, but if not, then hey, great. So into the filtration side, we got the UV set up because the summer sun is up so long and so bright here that we are getting some green water, and it's doing a pretty good job. It's not as clear as it used to be in the winter, but there's just a little bit of a green tint to it, and the fish don't really seem to mind. And then we've got a 55-gallon barrel drum filter. We've got it full with pretty much pot scrubbies up to here, and then 2 6-inch Matala mats that take up the entire diameter. And then I went to Walmart and got some lingerie bags and laundry baskets and some polyfill, and just filled the top with it and put some rocks to hold it in, and it's my fine filtration, and it's been working great. It doesn't do much for algae, unlike the UV, but it does its job well. And then we've also got some iris and umbrella palm growing up here too. So I'm gonna add on to this tank and stock update video with a little bit of feeding. Oops. Start with the little baby gar.
terrible silence stops in there. Now that the war is through with me, I'm waking up, I cannot see that there's not much left of me. Nothing is real but pain now. Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh please God, wake me. Back in the womb, it's much too real. In pumps life that I must feel, but can't look forward to reveal. Look to the time when I live, that sticks in me, just like a wartime novelty, tied to machines that make me be. Cut this life off from me. Hold my breath as I